You know how there's all those videos online that go massively viral of some pimply kid that I don't know why. They always seem to have a really thick neck. They look like they should have been a footy player or at least Dougie in the pizza Domino's ads. Hey, shout out Dougie, by the way. Avid Neil and Jordan listener. Legend. Also on this one as well. It's such a good name for someone who's obsessed with footy as well. But yes, I would imagine Dougie is one of these people that would be doing this. If he was a YouTuber, he would excel at it, actually, I think. Just walking up to people and being like, hey, this $100 is for you. I washed your car for you. Okay, yeah, I did it for no reason at all. I'm just a nice guy. And then it's just getting filmed the whole time with some kind of music in the background and annoying little keyboard music being like beep, 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 beep. Please like, please subscribe. And then everybody, I'd imagine like a lot of Kyle and Jackie O listeners, because they seem to like that shit as well. Just be like, oh my god, that's a nice, what a nice young boy. And then he gets all of this stuff that, like, I guess kind of like how you would have imagined you would have been in the 20s with one of those little alfalfa haircuts, checkered shirt that's nice and tied up with those little ventriloquist dummy shorts, just being like, well, ain't he a swell young man, while you're sitting there bashfully looking at your feet, being like, well, it was really nothing, mister. Okay, have a good day. And then you walk away. But what is happening there? Why is that so viral? It is because it boils down to a basic tenement of humanity, which is the law of reciprocation, which is someone like Clementine Ford, for instance, right? Miss Piggy. She is always complaining online, being like, look at all these men that are telling me that I'm a slut and that I'm ugly and that I should fuck off and do it. What the fuck? And then you look at her comments and all she does is just like, fuck men, fuck cunt, they should fucking kill them, so they're rapists, all of them. So what's she going to do? She's going to attract a bunch of those people coming into her life and being like, you fucking dog, bitch, fuck cunt, fuck, hope you get fucking raped, cunt. Like, of course they're going to come into that, because like you really are sitting there, like whatever energy you are emanating into the universe is exactly what you're going to have in your life. Like, what do? Most of my life is just being extremely snarky about journalists. What happens? I get a bunch of negative articles written about me, and I do that much like Clementine Ford does, because that is my business model. Because I really do feel like it's just, isn't it so satisfying shitting on a journalist? The most sanctimonious hypocrites in society, and also just cancer, a true cancer. So like, I don't know, I personally just am very well aware that that is what's happening, and obviously that is what's going to happen if you're doing that, yes? But I think that when you see these people that are just like random acts of kindness, oh my god, look at all these views, what's happening is people are returning them the favor. Like, there is this huge reciprocal loop that is happening there. There's the evidence and research that shows this as well, which is that a lot of the time you don't do a random act of kindness because you convince yourself that the other person that receives that act of kindness is not going to be grateful for it. And so you just think, well, you're not worth my grace. And then you walk away. Even if that is the case, that is not the reason that you should be cultivating these random acts of kindness thing. And I'm talking about very small things that you should be called manners. You know? Like, door, and then like some old lady is walking in, just keeping it open, being like, ma'am, you know, you're getting into a lift, you see that someone's running for it, and instead of being like, come on, close, you're just like, oh, sorry, and then you press the open one, and they're just like, thanks heaps, and you're just like, yeah, no worries, and then you go up the lift. Sorry, a lot of apartment related things because of how much I've traveled recently. But yeah, like those small things, flashing a smile at a stranger, even this, wishing that that stranger has a good day. You see how the world changes after that. I swear this happens every time I remember to do that when I'm walking down the street. I try to keep to this as a habit of mine, which is when I walk down the street, just hoping that two people that I walk past have a good day. Your immediate interaction when you walk past someone, and this is just primal because you don't know who they are, you just think, oh, stranger. But as we said before in a previous video, the spear has been replaced with the phone. So you usually just go like, oh, I can't even walk past the stranger anymore. I'm just going to pretend that I'm getting a text message. But if you start replacing that with, I hope that you have a good day, how unintimidating the other person becomes. They immediately, it doesn't matter if they're like a 70-year-old woman, the inner child comes out. You just start seeing them as a little kid. You like them. It's like with your friends that you like, you're always just pointing out all of their foibles. And so the things, people that you hate, those same things that you were just saying, like, that's what makes them them. That's what makes them lovable. That same trait in somebody that you hate, you would be saying, oh, it's unbelievable. I can't believe that they... Do you know that they're always late? Like, what the fuck? How indecent is that? Whereas if you like the person, you'll just be like, well, I suppose it gives me time to read my book. The stimulus is different, right? And so that, I think, is what's happening. Why those videos are always going viral is because they see an act of kindness happening. And so, by law of reciprocation, what do they want to do? They want to be kind to the person that they're seeing is being kind. But, and this is the other thing, and this is something else that I think is like, this is something that I observe with journalists, and I'm always just like, this explains a lot. I think that this is the psychology around this. Tell me if I'm wrong about this. I think I've got a good theory about this. Journalists are always trying to convince themselves that they're good people, despite the fact that they work for the most evil corporations on earth that are just bank-run propaganda outlets for evil political parties. That's journalism in a nutshell. Don't argue with me, go watch Manufacturing Consent, and then come back and then say, thank you, Jordan, you're so right, and then reciprocate by giving me likes and subscribes because I'm being very kind to you. I'm being cruel to be kind. But I think that one of the things that they do that is very, very telling. Don't you think that a lot of the people that you know that sucked, objectively sucked, they had to put up a picture of them getting the vaccine? Now, I know that there's going to be some people that are doing it because they're going to be thinking like, spread awareness, you get your spread your vaccine, normalize it. But really, what are they doing there? I think that they're just getting good boy points with the smallest buy-in possible for something that they were supposed to do anyway. Yeah? So this is the whole thing, yeah? Like, after a while, if you just leave doors open for people, if you're not used to doing that, you will think that you're a good person for it. After a while, it will become the bare minimum. The bare minimum. So in other words, you being considerate starts expanding on itself, much like those likes and subscribes. And so, after a while, you actually do just become a much more considerate person if you actively think of the smallest metric of kindness. This is the exact opposite. This is what Buddhists do to train children to not be sociopaths. So with a sociopath, what do? You get them to torture small animals and then bigger animals and then finally humans, right? With Buddhism teaching reverse sociopath, what do? They get them to look at the little lady beetle on their finger and be like, look, it wants to go in this direction. It has its own dharma, right? So they're teaching them that everything in life, wants to be happy. That's what we're going to be doing here. I'm not like... That's something that Buddhists do when they walk past people. They're just being like, namaste. They're kind of just like acknowledging the spirit in the other person, just hoping that the other person has a good life. And so as a result, kind of like the energy that they are exuding into the world changes. And when people walk past them, they always think, what a nice young man. Don't you feel like that with a lot of Asians when you walk past them and they've got that face of like, Don't you think you immediately smile? And I think it is just because they're Buddhists and they're training themselves to do this. So they just have this exuded kindness. You don't necessarily have to give away a Lamborghini to get the same results. But the thing is, just know this. The studies show that you give a tiny random act of kindness to someone, they will return the favor. And even by return the favor, I mean for the rest of their life, they're going to think about that. I still to this day remember someone on the bus tapping me on the shoulder. This was when I was like 17. I'd just broken up with my first girlfriend and I was moody. And they just tapped me on the shoulder and turned around and it just said on the phone, I hope you have a good day. And that was it. And I remember that to this very day. Now, obviously, he was just doing it for the same selfish reasons that you're doing. It doesn't matter, though, because after a while, it becomes habitual, and you just keep thinking, oh, okay, here's the next line. It's like anything in life. It's just, you don't need to get to the promised castle where the princess is in. You just need to take that first step along the frog pond, and you'll eventually get to that castle. So, that's all I'm saying is, very, very small increment. I want you to write down your own personal one. What is the smallest act of kindness that you could give out to somebody? Because it starts to snowball. And like with everything else, just like if somebody, you are always going to remember someone who punches you in the face, but you are always going to remember somebody that opens a door for you as well. Maybe not to the same degree as punching you in the face, but all right, something that's a little bit better than punching you in the face. Giving you a hand job, even when they're not gay. you would remember that. All right, so anyway, make sure that you like, make sure that you subscribe, sign up to Jordan Shanks, because these are the psychological tools and tricks that I will be giving you that will change your life faster than you think. And they will put you on a path where, look, phenomenal how many people that come up to me that are always saying that my dreams have been fulfilled, and I've been, a subscriber for a year. And now I have bigger and bigger dreams, but I at least have the framework of how to get there. That's what you should be doing with your life. Obviously, you should be giving me less than you would give a can of Coke to fulfill your dreams. Obviously, you idiot. Duh. So, anyway, I've got to go now because I've got to go and do the podcast. So you're lucky that I'm not going to be sitting here drilling you to sign up for the next 2 minutes, because I would have done that otherwise. But make sure you sign up. Links in the description. Bye.